and this is Nikita. She's a quiche hound. Essentially, initially, she's been a therapy dog for about 8 years. She's 9 years old now. I only wanted to do dog obedience, and I got with Ted and Sunny about 8+ years ago, and asked them, to train Nikita. And in doing so, she, from zero obedience to full therapy dog in 4 months. And Ted and Sunny told me that Nikita was destined to do bigger and better things to help people. And I asked them, I said, well, what's that? And they said, she needs to become a therapy dog to help people. And I said, well, I don't know what to do. And they both indicated to me that you don't need to worry about it. Nikita knows what to do, and she's a blessing. She's been petted by tens of thousands of people in the 8+ years she's been doing this.
I'm MC Cheftel, and this is Cody Boy, and he is been a service dog for about 6 months now. And it has always been my dream to do this. My mother had Alzheimer's, and I saw the joy that the animals brought to her and the other patients in her facility, and this was back in Florida, and it just became a goal. And Cody, as he mellowed out, he's 5 years old, he's super happy in the assisted living centers where he can be with those people that just fondle him and hold his leash and pull his tail, and not neatly, of course, but he does bring a lot of people joy, and for that I'm incredibly grateful that I was able to become a part of this organization.
My name is Chris Williams. This is Roxy. She's almost 7. She's been a therapy dog for about 3.5 years. I got her I rescued her when she was about 1, and it became overly apparent that she was in desperate need of some really, really good training. So I met Ted, and then, eventually Sunny, and through their help, met lots of other handlers and dogs, and they encouraged me to just keep going with the training. And, she had such a good, once she got over her bad habits, found out she had a really good personality hiding under there, and she just loves going to work. When her vest goes on, she knows she's going to work, and she gets so excited that she knows she's going to get all the pets. So, I love to give back to the community, and that's kind of why we stuck with it and heard the encouragement from the other team members and decided to just stick with it and, take the test.
I am Beth Sloan. This is Koozie. She has been a therapy dog for about 6.5 years. We've been doing a lot of work with our schools and first responders. Koozie loves to run around the schools and the children read to her, providing that love and comfort, helping them with their fluency of reading and their love for reading. Again, just like Ted, we were talking about starting out as basic training, and Koozie just had a knack for loving people. We pushed through with Sunny for the training, and she became a therapy dog and just absolutely loves it, enjoys going out in the community and providing that love and comfort. And it's a truly blessing to be able to give back to those in need, and just to see the smile on the faces and the great conversations about therapy dogs and how we can help people. So.
My name is Mayanne Townsend, and this is Carl. He's a 3.5-year-old silver lab. He's been a therapy dog for a little over 1.5 years. We got involved with Ted and Sunny because I wanted to find a way of paying it forward. My father had been diagnosed with cancer and had went through the treatment, and my sisters and I were so, we really enjoyed having the dogs show up at the hospital that my father was in and getting treatment in. And so when my dad made it through the cancer treatment, I decided I wanted a way to pay it forward. So as soon as I found Carl, I knew that that's what my plan was. So day one with Sunny and then one of the other trainers, Olivia, I had told them that Carl will be a therapy dog. We did not have no other options, and so it went great, and we've loved being here.
My name's Carrie Wolfrey, and this is Nugget. I adopted Nugget from a boxer rescue in Pennsylvania. Pulled up, and he was spread eagle in the front window looking out, and my husband said, "Oh my goodness." And we got him home, took him on a walk. Needless to say, he did not have very good manners. So, and as big as he is, as you see, I was like, I need to get some help because I can't manage him on a walk if he decides to go after another dog or another person. So went to Ted and Sunny and asked for some help, and they gave me the training. And the biggest thing with Nugget is he lost his family, and that's why he was in the rescue. And and some people know my story. We lost our son, and Nugget kind of helped us. So we saved him, and he saved us. We put all of our energy into him and becoming a therapy dog and sharing his love with the rest of the community, that it kind of like gave us something else to look forward to. So, yeah, I love him. Everybody loves him. Whenever we go somewhere, the kids are always like, Nugget! And so, you know, Chicken Nugget is what they call him. So he's just a lovable old guy. Not like most boxers, as you can tell. He's just like, but he's chill, and we love him, and we love this group. It's really helped us.
That's great. My name is Laurel McComas, and this is Delilah. And I came to Canine Caring Angels through a mutual friend of myself and Sunny and Ted's. And I was having a conversation with her one day, and we were talking about what we wanted to do with our dogs in the future. And I finally got to the point in my life where I knew therapy work was going to be what my future was going to be all about. I'd been very, very busy in my younger years and never was able to give back. And through meeting Sunny and Ted, we were able to get certified, and now we go out and do a whole bunch of different things. We go to the schools. I've done hospice work. We've done stuff with the old age homes. So it has just been an incredible, incredible experience bringing the dogs to share with other people.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing. I wanted to ask, in this kind of an open forum, if anyone wants to come talk about what their experience was like going through the training as far as understanding and results and the process itself.
So, as I said earlier, when we got her home, she broke 2 table lamps on the first day by couch surfing from couch to couch and knocking everything in her way over. She got all 4s on the kitchen counter, so she was completely unruly. And day 1 of the training, it was like a light switch went off that she was like, oh, I'm not in charge. So it was life-changing for her. We were the 3rd person to bring her home in the first year of her life, and it was just because she needed somebody to teach her, where she was in the pack. She wasn't the pack leader, she just part of the pack, and it changed her life and ours, mine, subsequently, but it really saved her life.
I mean, I can say for Kuzi, she was a rescue. Unfortunately, she didn't have a good start to her life. She was beaten and shot as a puppy, so when she came to us, she didn't know how to be a house dog. She just wanted to run. Through training with Sunny, Kuzi learned to trust humans again. She and I have a very, very tight bond, and it took a lot of consistency and patience and love from me to give to her, and she eventually learned that people are wonderful. So for her to go out in the community and be in a school full of hundreds of students and just prance her little self down the hallway like she owns it, visiting our military veterans and active duty, she has that knack now. So I'm truly blessed that we got the opportunity to meet Sunny and help her get through her trauma so she can get back. And she and I have an amazing bond, and she's also my service dog. So I don't think I'd be lost without her and without Sunny helping me to understand her and how a dog truly learns and what they need. And she's just my angel. So.
I didn't understand how important Nikita is to people when I first got her. It was essentially, we were at the USO and we were there and working, and the gentleman had PTSD and his flight has been canceled, and then he had to go home and then come back the next day and it was canceled again. And he sat with Nikita for a half hour. And finally, he got his flight out, a young man. And when he got home, his father, we were still at the USO at National Airport, his father called the front desk and said how happy he was and appreciative that we had Nikita there and the therapy dog because it helped his son work through the PTSD. Nikita is inherently loving, her loving paws and caring tail. She sits in people's laps automatically, and they hug her. I mean, her nickname is Living Teddy Bear, and they hug her like a living teddy bear. And she's brought tears to people's eyes for stress, anxiety relief, and so she's a blessing. She's been pet by tens of thousands of people.
Well, I guess that kind of leads me into another question that we had, because Ken, thank you for sharing that. I was wondering if anybody else had those, like that one unique experience with their dogs that they'll always remember working as therapy. If anyone wants to share those.
Oh, I have one. When we were testing about a year and a half ago, the therapy test is a very long test, 9-hour test. We go and we do a bunch of different elements and go different places, and one of the places that we needed to test out at was the nursing home. And the whole team arrived there, and we were able to go through and work the room for the residents, and then we went into the memory ward. And the memory ward was quite a unique experience for us. We were able to talk to a bunch of different people, and as I was working the room, I went over to 2 women who were sitting on a couch, and they were just staring at the TV. There was absolutely nothing going on there. There was no connection. They wouldn't look at you. They wouldn't talk to you. And I walked over to this woman, and I said, "Ma'am, would you like to pet my dog?" And I got nothing. So I kind of waited a second, and then I asked her again. And I said, "Would you like to pet my dog?" And her hand just did this. And so I brought her over, and I put her head in her lap, and she very gently just started going over her head very, very slowly. And then this smile came across her face. And to be able to give somebody that gift in that area of where they are in their life was completely life-changing for me.
Yeah, we were at I can't remember the name of the golf tournament.
Jimmy's Tavern.
Jimmy's Tavern's annual golf tournament. The first year we went, it was right after COVID. Everything was just sort of kind of opening back up. This was the first year back at the tournament. It had been canceled the previous year, and we were all set up outside, still very socially distanced. And I remember this one gentleman, he came up and he just started petting Roxy, and she was giving it back to him, and he was just bawling. And I didn't want to ask, it's not my business. He was obviously going through something, but just her affection back to him, just really, you could just see how it was just melting away from him. Whatever he was going through his day was going to be better after that. And, I was like, wow, it really does have that effect on people. I mean, it can really have that effect on people. So, yeah, it was the first time I had anybody cry like that in front of me, just from just doing this, you know, and it was definitely moving.
Therapy dogs can definitely be very cathartic, for sure, for individuals.
I have two experiences that stand out. One was when we went to one of the schools with the autistic children, and there was this one little boy in the class, and he told the teacher, "Can you please record me?" So she took her phone out, and he did a report on Nugget in front of the whole class. And he was just so excited and had her play it back for him, and so that was the one. The other one was more personal. Like I said, when our son passed away, Nugget is my dog. My husband loves him, and Nugget loves my husband, but he's a mama's boy. But when we lost our son, my husband was crying uncontrollably and couldn't catch his breath, and all I had to do was say, "Nugget, go to Daddy." And he just instinctively knew. He went over there, placed his head on his chest, and my husband started petting him, and my husband's breathing and started to calm down. So the dogs know. They know when you need them.
With me, it's like, I had a personal experience at one of the events at one of the transitional centers that I recently went to where, of course, they're all loving on Carl, but then I started talking to one of the young women that were there, and she was just basically talking about how she wasn't sure how she was ever going to be able to get out of the transitional center, just because she has really bad anxiety. She has this heart condition that nobody knows about, and or that nobody knows really how to treat, and that there's just all this different stuff. And I was like, well, I have severe anxiety. I could relate to her. And then I asked her, I was like, well, what's your heart condition called? And she told me. And it is the same exact heart condition that I have and my 3 children have. And she had said that she had never met anybody with that had the same heart condition as she did. And so I then told her, what I do I was diagnosed with mine at the age of 23. So I was like, I've done a lot of stuff since 23. And then I told her about what my kids are now doing, because my kids are all in their 20s or early to late 20s. And she's like, so I can do stuff. I will be able to do stuff. And so it was just, I left and I just bawled in the car. And just because it was so neat to not only, because I see Carl connecting to people all the time. So it was just a really neat experience. I'm okay, Carl. Just it was just really neat to be able to have an experience to where I actually connected to somebody and not just Carl. So that was great.
Thank you for sharing. And so I guess one question I wanted to ask too is, what is it like being part of the Canine Caring Angels community? And we've got locations around the country, but here, working with other therapy dog handler teams, and giving back to the community, kind of how has it changed your life, and what's it like being part of that community?
I can testify to that. It's like a family. We're all different people from different backgrounds and different life experiences, but when we get together as a team, it's like we're there for everybody else. We bond together and we share the joy that our dogs bring to people. We have a chance to learn to know each other as well. So I think it's just like that family setting, and it's an amazing feeling when you walk in as a team to a school or to police station, and the smiles, and you guys are amazing, and there's nothing but positives about the Canine Caring Angels and the amazing things that we do in the community, and it's from our hearts. We're not paid, we're not promoted to do it. This is what we do because we care, and I think it just stands for the amazing people that we have and how we dedicate our time to helping others. And it's out there in the community, and people know about us, oh, you're with Canine Caring Angels. We're like, yes. Sharing our cards and connecting with people. it's a true blessing. Like my life has changed. I feel like I want to be out there and I want to spend my time with people and Kuzi and the other dogs, and it's the pure joy. And I think our family, it's what we are. We care for one another, we support each other, and enjoy our endeavors out in the community. So.
Yeah, absolutely the same feeling. We're definitely a team. You know, a lot of us do a lot of the same events together, so we see each other a lot, and there's a lot of downtime in between, maybe getting visitors and stuff. So there's a lot of time to, you know, otherwise you're just going to be sitting there, so you might as well get to know the person you're with, right? And I've made some really strong friendships through both in the beginning when we started doing like group classes. I kept seeing the same people every Saturday or every Sunday, and you know, those people were already handlers, and they were the ones that were kind of pushing me along to, keep going with it. And through that, you know, we actually now communicate on a personal level outside of everything. You know, we text each other, call each other, made some really good, you know, bonding through the whole thing. And it's just because we have this in common. But then once you get to know the other person, you know, you kind of connect on a personal level as well. It's definitely changed.
I know it's stress relief for us too, because a lot of us have full-time jobs, and I know I always look forward to the sign-ups on what event is going to happen next. We can have anything from 1 dog to 17 dogs at an event, and the joy of people's, you know, petting the dogs and the smiles that we get and the enjoyment that they get in petting the dogs is outstanding. I mean, we have, you know, people that have, you know, been asking us, you know, for like 8 years now, come back, because they really enjoy the work that the dogs do and we do. And essentially, you know, Canine Caring Angels has a mentoring program, like we mentioned, and that those of us that have been in for quite a long time and are quite active in it help mentor those that are new in, you know, the training and things like that, and encouragement to keep continuing and inspire to be the best that you can be.
I also love that because I am so involved in the group and I talk about it all the time, my coworkers will like at the end of the week in our meetings, they'll go, so what events are you and Carl doing this week, or what events do y'all have coming up? So I think it's great that you know, just my coworkers, they're all related and excited about, you know, what Carl and I are doing. We get so much support from, you know, not just, you know, Canine Caring Angels, but just everybody outside too.
Well, speaking of work, do any of you bring your dogs to work?
I do. I teach in Prince William County. I've started numerous reading programs, both after school and during school with our students. Kuzi is kind of the rock star of my school. She walks in, she knows where she is. The students look forward to seeing her. We do social emotional wellness days for our staff as well. So Kuzi and some of our other amazing handler teams come in and provide that time for our staff just to decompress. The educational field is very tough. Not only do our students need that love and that downtime, but so does the staff. So I take a lot of pride in bringing my family and my team into my building with my staff and my students, which mean the world to me. And they love Kuzi. They love to see her. Just the change in the students. We use her for behavior modification as well. So students earn tickets to have a Kuzi visit. So she comes in the room, she reads with us. That reading incentive program, reading right now is a struggle for students, the confidence and everything else, but they can earn a visit with Kuzi and reading time with her. So it's a positive, amazing thing. Bringing her out in the community, being able to share her with the schools, and it started to spread. So more schools want therapy dogs. So we kind of passed it along to our superintendent and get it out there how we can help both our students, the staff, and our community. The parents as well love the dogs. So it's a joy and a pleasure to be able to bring her to work and help so many others.
As Beth was saying too, is that I bring Nikita to work, and she's an ambassador for work. And essentially when we bring her, you know, it's a 13-story building, and the word gets around via text or email or chat or whatever. and everybody comes down to visit when Nikita's there. And a lot of us have trading cards, and the trading cards are really big. And, you know, everybody asks, do you have any trading cards? They're like baseball cards or Pokemon cards. And the adults and the kids both love the trading cards for the dogs that have their picture and a little bio on the back of them on what the dog is all about.
Little fur
Yeah.
celebrities.
Yeah, we heard trading cards posted on many a billboard, or not billboards, but bulletin boards. Thank you. Around the county, Fairfax County, Prince William County. You know, it's funny. You go into places, it's like, you know, you haven't been there in a year, but her card's still up there. It's like, oh, we're so glad you're back. You know, it's so good to see you again. Oh, look, your card's still here. It's like, you know, those are the teachers. You know, who knows what the kids do with them once they get home, but you know, those are the adults that keep them.
Cody
One more
comes-
hand over here.
Yeah, Cody comes into the office with me when I go in. I mostly work from home, but he has free reign at the office. And people keep little treats in their desks so that he kind of wanders around and visits. And some other employees often bring their dogs in too, and the atmosphere in the office is just different. You know, it's not the high stress. I mean, we're busy, we do, in my mind, important things, but he is my therapy dog in the office more than anybody else's to keep me happy, and even though we like visiting and doing others too. He's a good boy.
When we have events after work, I do take Nugget to work with me. Most of the day, he sleeps under my desk. I do have to say that I work in a very small office, but we have one gentleman in our office that is not a dog person. And the other day, he told me that he is going to get a dog for his family. And it's all because of Nugget, because he loves Nugget. And he says he just hopes to find one as good as Nugget is. So we've converted somebody.
He's gonna get a box.
No, he doesn't want one quite as big as that.
But you bring up a good point, is that these dogs have their fan clubs, and they do a lot of payback and good work. And it's amazing, like, for example, at different events like Toys for Tots or the coat drives, essentially little children, all ages, like, you know, 6 years old on up through adulthood, that have never petted a dog, will pet these dogs. And these dogs are trained to be giving love all back. And, you know, where before they may be scared of a dog, they pet these dogs and they get over their fright. And we teach them how to approach the dog and pet the dog appropriately. But it's really amazing the transformation that these dogs perform on people that are scared of dogs.
Yeah, absolutely. I've definitely experienced that, especially with some of the younger kids and some of the neighborhoods that we go into for these coat drives and the Toys for Tots and stuff that absolutely, I mean, shaking when they approach the dog, just terrified. But, you know, like you said, they've been trained to give affection. And once they just start, you know, I just always tell them, you know, come up, you know, just touch her ear. You know, her ears are so soft. Or just, you know, okay, you know, turn around, you know, touch her behind so her head's not near you. And they start petting the dog, and then you can just see they're like, oh, yeah, there's nothing to be afraid of. It's not gonna bite me. But, you know, she has a patch on the back of her vest that says ask to pet. And, you know, they ask about that, and they're like, why do you say that if they're here to be petted? And I'm like, because you should always ask, no matter, they're here to be petted, right? You approach a dog on the street, you shouldn't just walk up to it and start petting it. Always ask to pet. No matter if you know the dog or not. Some dogs are just have bad days. So, you know, I know some people have patches that say, please pet me, but I like to say, ask to pet. That's it.
So you got anything you wanna?
No, I'm glad I'm not sitting there because I'm all snivelly listening to all of you guys. So, no, I just want to say thank you again. I love you guys. I love your hearts, what you do with them, the way you work with the dogs, and how you pay it forward, because that's what we're about.
Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing.